Where's season 3, y'all?
This is season 3 of Messy on Purpose.
Yes.
And I changed it to season 3 because we've been through 3 phases now.
That's great.
So the first one was me and Heather. That was very short-lived, but
it was a good season.
That got it started. And then it's been me just kind of tackling it out the best I can. Mm-hmm. And then now you're joining in, and it's kind of cool because now we have like full production with guests in person.
That's
we
great.
have the ones with me and you, which is always great conversation.
Always.
And then even a mix of like the virtual ones in there, getting new people in there and stuff. And
there's a lot of new people. I mean, like
if I get a good virtual one, you might have to join it.
Yeah, exactly. 3 slices. So we're getting messy. What are we getting messy on today?
I don't even know.
I have something to say.
Yeah, like
this
what's been going on?
Okay, before we start talking anything about AI, because I've been doing some AI ads, I'm going to go back to movie making just really quickly. And can I cuss on here? I don't want to cuss okay, I won't ruin it. I won't cuss.
Try not to, but if it comes out, I haven't been targeted yet by YouTube, so I think we're okay.
All right, I won't say much, but I will say this. There is a new movie that's dropping sometime in the summer. And they've messed it up already. Now, part of my childhood and being a Gen Xer is F around and find out. And we created that because if you said something about us back in the day, we would be in a truck somewhere, a dusty ass truck, and we show up to your house going, yeah, you're talking smack about me. So that's, we coined that phrase, and don't come for us Gen Z or millennials because you don't want Gen X because we didn't have anybody taking care of us. We were just out there doing what the hell we wanted to.
Just a lot drunk in a field somewhere.
I'm telling you, we were the real deal out here. So what I revert back to my childhood. I watched something, called He-Man. There's a new movie that's dropping, and it's called He-Man, Master of the Universe, and I'm not sure if you've seen it or not.
I have never heard of this.
You have never heard of He-Man? I love the fact that whatever I say, she doesn't know. So He-Man is this fictitious character that lives in Eternia. And his name is Adam, and he's a prince, and he's super skinny, like a super skinny guy. He's like kind of a little dweeb, little nerd, but he's nice. Well, he gets deemed with this power later on from Grayskull. By the power of Grayskull, he puts his sword up in the air, and it electrifies, and he turns He-Man, and he's buff.
Like another gods thing.
Yeah, but he's buff. I mean, he's buff, and his little battle cat, he puts the little sword, correct me if I'm wrong because it's been a long time, but he puts a sword onto the battle cat, or even he wasn't battle cat, and the cat is like a little tiger, but it turns his big ass with his whole hoof of metal armor around his face. And he's like, ah! It's dope. I know this is crazy right now, and I'm seeing how much time right now. We're only in 4 minutes right now, so isn't that kind of great?
Yeah, that is nice.
So back to He-Man. Now, this new version that's being made, it's a live action, it's not a cartoon. And He-Man came on before, I think, G.I. Joe and Transformers or something like that. Anyway, we watched it. Everybody anyone that's Gen X and on the cusp between like 1968 or 67, you know what I'm talking about. Someone like yourself who's like barely 30 or something like that is...
Oh, barely 30. I'm 36, okay?
That's barely 30. Anyway, you wouldn't know about this. But I'm trying to tell you right now, this show was off the chain. And they had this little sniveling guy. His name was Orko. He was always messing up stuff. He was like this magician guy that was always floating, had like a little dress on or something like that with this big old O in his little dumbass hat that he had. I hated this guy. But he sometimes would save the day, but most of the time he's always messing up. I mean, he's one, that friend that's always kind of like always in trouble, always messing up. That's Orko. But he can't figure his crap out. He's a bad magician guy, whatever. Bad. He's kind of like Merlin, but he's a really bad version of that. But my whole point about me saying this, I'm going to tie this into right now, and I know I've been talking a lot. The whole point is that they changed the storyline to now he's on Earth. It makes no sense. So now, because his mom wanted to hide him because he was a prince and she knew something was going to go down in Eternia. So she hid him, Adam, on Earth, which there's no such, the cartoon has nothing to do with Earth. There is no Earth in this cartoon. So now this live action now, he's looking for the sword because he knows he's special for whatever reason. But the guy is skinny. I swear to God, I saw him fighting his villain that he fights is Skeletor. He was fighting Skeletor and Skeletor was doing something. He had the sword out and was doing some sword work. Here's what pisses me off beyond all means. If you've seen the trailer, go watch it. Please comment. I'm telling you right now, I'm passionate about this crap because I'm a filmmaker.
But I can't tell.
So... this MF is not buff. I swear to God, he was fighting Skeletor, and I think they're trying to trick us right now because if he doesn't call from power of Grayskull, and if he's not ripped, I mean, I'm telling you, like maybe 2 times the size of Rock, on top of the Rock size, that's how big He-Man is in the cartoon.
Didn't The Rock get smaller?
He did. Yeah, because he was on steroids and he had this heart just like John Batista. Is that John Batista? The wrestling guy?
I don't know what his name is.
Batista, last name is Batista. He got skinny too as well, which is dope. Really great for their health. But back to, you better be big as shit, okay? That's all I'm gonna do. One cuss word. You better be big as shit for this He-Man. Because if you're not, I swear to God, guys, bap, 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 I'm coming through. I mean, like, I'm gonna... Fylisha, listen to me clearly. This is going on your podcast.
This coming today.
I know. Because I was thinking about what could I talk about that might be a little bit funny, but people always say, Lee, you're funny when you're serious. I'm serious. If he is not, just buff, I'm going to be pissed, livid. I'm coming for you guys, He-Man. I'm not trying to get kicked off, but I'm coming. So anyway, I had to address that because me and my buddy were losing our stuff the other day. Because a lot of times when I go to the movies, I'll fast a lot and I'm going to eat a bunch of crap food when I watch a movie. And I don't do it all the time. But some movies aren't necessarily good for you to take in those calories because you're pissed at the end of the day. Like a movie that I just saw recently. What was it? Not Frankenstein. I saw a movie that made me mad because I had a lot of food. Because when I go in, I take food with me. I don't just take.
I know. You bring your backpack. Yeah,
but it's more than snacks. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm eating some good.
Pretty sure he brought food from my house one time.
I did. I bought the two the two cinnamon rolls. We'll go back to that again. Okay, but this is like you know what this is like. I can explain it to you. And this is like Justin saying, Fylisha's. I like the little fat guy. The white little fat guy that's on the little Pillsbury Doughboy guy. Woo-hoo! That guy. It's like your husband saying that those Pillsbury Doughboy, whatever this guy's name is, Pillsbury guy, those cinnamon rolls are better than your homemade ones. That's what I'm trying to talk about right now. That's the discrepancy between, if He-Man's not buff, that's what it feels like. Deflated. Like your shit is like complicated. You've got butter and real stuff inside there. It makes you feel good after you eat it. You don't feel like trash, even though it's not a great food for you, but it's like, it feels good going inside. The other ones are, just feel terrible and they're small and they're downside. They're like this big and you like get one small little thing of like orange stuff to put on top of it. Not yours. Yours are like ridiculous. So that's the difference between the size. It's like these little dumb ones you get and the big ones that you have that are like that size. So don't. Okay, I've wasted too much time on that. I'm sorry.
That's very.
I'm my little box.
There's a lot of like emotion in there.
Because you're messing with my childhood, and when you come from Gen X, listen.
It's not any different than like what they did with the Disney movies when they remade the Disney movies and they made them woke.
I know that's
like
okay.
They focused more on like bringing in like woke ideology,
right,
than actually making what we as millennials loved as a child.
Like Cinderella, stuff like that. Yeah. There's like a lot of cool things.
I don't even know if I haven't seen any of them, but I see the propaganda and you see all the responses and stuff like that on social media.
Yeah. And social media is kind of wild because the other aspect of this is that everybody's mad that Man of Arms is black. Okay, guys, listen. First off,
I don't even know who that is.
You don't have to. All I'm saying that Man of Arms was a white dude. He was like, had a big ass, Tom Selleck mustache. Man of Arms is dope. And yes, he's a white character, but it's a cartoon.
I know, but it's more, it takes away from it. It's like,
does it?
It does, because you're losing that vision you had of that character. It's a new character. It's not the same character. It's like, it would be no different than taking, somebody from like a regular movie. So you're saying James
Bond cannot be played by Idris Elba? I'm asking.
I don't think so. Like, I think you're taking away the vision people have of who that character is, because that's like taking you and replacing you with a white person and being like, that's Lee. I can't look at somebody like that and say, yeah, that's Lee. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. That's taking somebody and changing it.
Well,
because when you watch these things, you have emotional connections when you really like something, just like you had right now.
Right.
So now you have an emotional connection to that character, and then you changed who that character was.
Okay. Well, here's the caveat. Here's the other side of that. For decades, 50 years at least in Hollywood, we've got people who are white who are playing like someone who was in Egypt. But they were fine with that.
Well, it depends.
Do you see what I'm saying?
So I'm saying you're taking a character that was already made. not a character that was developed into what it is. So like,
I hear that.
You're looking at something totally different. You're looking at like, you're just playing, like, that's just playing like the race to race, right?
Well, no, not like, to play the race to race, but like
culture to culture. But like, what I'm getting at is you have an identity with something. So that's no different than it being like your best friend that you've known forever and then that changing to somebody else, right? It's the same thing. Most people sit down, they get an emotional connection with the characters in the books. Okay, here's an example that kind of plays into it. You read a book, right? They make a movie out of it. It doesn't look like what you thought.
Envisioned, right, correct.
So now you're upset with it. I've talked to many people who read a book, watch the movie and are
they're mad.
And vice versa.
Absolutely.
And so you have these emotional connections to these characters. I don't think people even realize they're doing it. Like, you don't realize it, right, until something changes. So now you've grown up with this movie. They've changed the character. So you're talking about like changing a character from being really big and buff to being really small. That's no different than completely changing the color of its skin.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Well, no, you have to understand because you don't know about the He-Man. But when he calls for the power, he's supposed to get really big. But if they don't do that, they've completely changed. It's like a book. They didn't own up to.
But that's the same thing as changing a character. You're changing the character. It's just a feature, a different feature. You're changing what we're picturing and what we're connected to as a character. So if you have I don't even know what, like Harry Potter, for example.
Right.
Harry Potter, the main character with the glasses.
Yeah.
What if you changed him to the redheaded character? You just switched him.
No,
that's what you're doing. I know where you're going with it.
But I'm saying ultimately, I mean, the bigger part of this is that, the bigger part of saying this is that, it's not about saying if I'm right or wrong. It's more of like we're having a discussion, which is, is there validity to say that characters who in the past, like someone who is in Africa who's playing, like a queen or whatever, when they switch those characters out, even though it's a movie and it's based on reality, and characters have in the past played, there's been like, let's just go back from vaudeville days to blackface. I mean, like, it was okay to be white and to put blackface on, which was playing a character who's supposed to be black or whatever. So, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not playing any sort of race wars or anything like that. I'm saying, let's just look at, what you're saying
we've had
initially.
The opposite of that too, though. Like, we've also did White Chicks. Great movie.
Right.
Fucking hilarious.
Right.
And they dressed up as white women.
Right.
You know what I mean? And guess what? We have a problem in our society now. Now, when that movie came out, we didn't have that problem.
Right.
But now we have a lot of people impersonating women. And
right. Yes.
So, I mean, that there's another way to look at that too. You could look at that negatively, or you could look at it like it was a really funny video, right?
Right.
So, I mean, what is Hollywood? What is movies? And what is TV? It's all not reality. It's all acting. It's all putting on a mask, whether you look at it one way or another. Right. That's different than changing a character that already exists that people are already emotionally connected to.
That's true. Like now, for my Green Lantern fans, I'm pretty sure Green Lantern now has been played by a white man forever, and I think originally Green Lantern was black. So,
and I have no clue.
And like I said, I want to see, because this is more for people who are listening or seeing it and then want to comment and say, "Hey, Lee, you're wrong" or whatever. Because I like the fact that we were just chatting about this, because it's interesting, because people get up in arms about a lot of things, like especially about the woke stuff we talked about earlier with Cinderella, like the guys I don't think they even have jobs or something, they couldn't make them work. I don't know what it was, but I didn't see the new Cinderella, so I don't know either. But
I'm looking at it from an outside perspective.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Is what it is. Like, I don't have education on like all of these different shows and who played what and what's happened in the past. I have no idea. I'm just telling you the reason people react the way they do to those things.
I mean, I can't say that I'm not like, well, the whole Adam / He-Man thing or whatever, they've already changed something that was original from which upsets me, because they're not following along with what they think that we believe. I mean, the story in itself, if you've ever watched He-Man, all the episodes like I have, and many other people out there that do like He-Man or whatever, that are fan people or fanboys or whatever you want to call us, I think the thing for me that's upsetting is that they change the storyline so much that it doesn't even make any sense.
So that's the same thing as changing a character.
Yeah. I mean,
it comes down to it, what it is you're attached to that story. You're attached to those characters.
Right.
And when they change things, that's when it affects you. So it's no different than changing a character from, one race to another, or changing the storyline from this to that, or where it's located, all of those changes affect you because you have an attachment to the original
to what we believe, maybe,
or not even the original, but maybe what you grew up with. So like there's so many different movies and TV shows and things that they've redone, right?
Yeah.
And maybe when I was a kid, that was, the new one at the time, and I didn't know the old one, and then there was an old one that maybe somebody else is attached to, and like you don't necessarily know. So it's everyone has their own reactions to things, and that's quite okay. Like
absolutely.
But it's also okay to change things, and it's okay to do things the way you want to do them. And I think in a creative outlet, we're all allowed to have our own opinions, but when it comes down to it, if it's not your art, why do you even, like, your opinion doesn't necessarily matter when it comes down to the grand scheme of things. Yeah,
it does not. I mean, it's more of like just thought processes of like looking at things of how things have been and to where they're going. For instance, in theater, having a BA from UC Davis in theater, they didn't, like Denzel Washington busted his ass, one of the dopest actors ever. He played Hamlet. I mean, and Hamlet has always been cast as someone, it's a theater piece, but like because, Africans weren't in the Shakespearean and that realm of being in England when Shakespeare wrote these plays, not necessarily, but like cross-color casting like that, when you're in and you really are a phenomenal actor and you're in theater school and you're an actor, you're trying to get the main stage. Everybody wants to be on main stage.
Everybody.
So main stage is the deal, but like some schools, do, like Davis was really cool. If you were the best actor, then you got the best role. Even if Shakespeare wasn't necessarily, you didn't see, like they had the Moors, Othello and stuff like that was a black, character from Africa or whatever, but he was a Moor. But like, Hamlet has never been, ever been black, but like Denzel played him on theater. Denzel has a theater background. He was dope as hell. I've seen him play Hamlet before. So,
and again, that comes down to who's producing, right? Who's
making, absolutely.
And like what they think is good, because some acting, somebody might think is good and other people might not think is good. And that's all, they're all opinions. When it comes down to it, every piece of art is opinion based, right? Like you can be a phenomenal artist and do incredible work, and you are still gonna have critics that don't like it. And you can make amazing food, right? That's an art in itself. And you can be a phenomenal chef.
And someone go, I don't like it.
Yeah, and somebody could come in and be like, I took my sister to Thai food yesterday, right? Okay, we went to Weira, best Thai ever in Las Vegas, hands down.
Okay.
And super flavorful. Obviously, you pick your spice, and she doesn't like spicy. Well, I think there was too many seasonings, and she didn't like it. She got a level 1, and she didn't like it. Like, I know she didn't like it. She tried something new, and she's a trooper, but she didn't like it. And like, it's by far the best Thai dish that me and Justin have ever had. Anywhere.
Was it curry or what was it? What was
so it's khao soi.
What's that?
It's some kind of curry, like,
Okay.
Soup type thing with like egg noodles. And we get the crispy duck.
Ooh.
And it's amazing, full of flavors. But we had 3 people at the table, 2 that loved it. Most people, actually, every person I've ever introduced that to absolutely loves it. I have never heard of anybody not liking it, and Jamie didn't like it. And like that can happen, like with anything. So any type of art, anything that requires an opinion to be good is going to be subjective depending on who it's in front of. And I feel like we get so attached to our emotions and how we feel about things that we don't necessarily see that everyone's allowed to have their own opinion.
Absolutely. No, I mean, that, hopefully you didn't think that about me.
No, not at all. I was just explaining. Like I said, from an outside perspective, I'm not a huge film person. I watch like a movie in the background, and it's not a watch quote. Sometimes I pay attention, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's a TV show like Landman, and I'm like, this is really freaking good, and I actually pay attention. And then some other ones is just background noise. And I'm not like a super like into that kind of thing, so I don't know names, I don't know actors. Like most actors, if I met them in person, I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? And like that's just me. I'm just unattached. You're attached to that world, and it's a little different. So I'm able to sit back and kind of look at it from how people are taking these opinions and their emotions get worked up. Your emotions just got worked up because you're excited, and not even like, I wouldn't even say excited in like a sense of like over enjoyment. You're just excited in general with like something new coming, but not sure about it. And like that brings up all these emotions and it gets you little riled up, which is fine. Oh, yeah. It's great. No, it's passion. It's something you love. I honestly don't really love anything that much except for, my husband. Yeah. And my dog. But like I don't have like a hobby that gets me worked up like that. I mean, I guess fitness a little bit. Like I do love fitness, and I love talking about it. Absolutely. And I do get very passionate about it. So I guess that's my thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like if we get talking about nutrition, I'm be like, yeah. You know what I mean? And again, I have an opinion. I mean, I guess I keep mine pretty like with nutrition, it's a little more like you have facts, right? Like with an art world, and you're passionate about art of any kind, it's not a statistic. Yeah. It's not, there's too many variables that depend on people's opinions. Yeah. And so like I'm able to sit back and see that and understand the emotion side of it. I guess for me, for the whole part about me mentioning Man of Arms, because now he's played by Idris Elba, who's a phenomenal actor, and why he's in this movie, I don't know. But Idris, being from England and stuff like that, being a black man, and being Man of Arms, it's just the comments. I mean, like everybody has their opinion, but it's like, it's so super hyper racist online because we just talked about it. They changed the storyline anyway about He-Man. He's not buff, like you said before. I wasn't mad. I'm upset about that because this is different, but okay, Man of Arms. He's a cartoon. Yes. He's played by a white dude that was in another world, which we don't, know about that actually exists because Eternia could exist somewhere, whatever. But the fact that the comments, and it's their opinion and stuff like that. So it's just, like you said, it's just opinion. It's an opinion. And I think we throw that, like that word around a lot, right? Yeah. Racism. It might not be racist. They are just connected to, it has nothing. I've read the comments. They were racist. There may be some, not all of them, just because you interpret it that way, right? So like some people are going to see like, they're like, no, he's supposed to be white, and that's automatically racist. No, that's not racist. And that's not the case. No, but I didn't say that. No, I'm not saying you said that. I said some people can look at it and say that, and I feel like we throw that racism and race word around a lot in like the last, I don't know, 5 years, that like some of it's not even racist. We just call somebody racist for being a white male. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's not the case. And then we call things not racist that are racist. So, because you have the turn the tables. How often do you ever hear somebody say something bad about somebody who is white, and then that's not racism? Because that happens too. And so I feel like that word gets thrown around way too much. And I feel like it's me, I said it because I'm not throwing it around. I mean, I do know, I read the comments. So I'm speaking on more fact, and you're going more like, well, I don't know if that's not, but the trust. But I also didn't see the comments, so I'm not. I'm just giving you like a general idea. Yeah, but I'm telling you from, like, I read racist comments, but I'm sure there was racist comments. There's racist comments for everything. No. For everything. Yeah. But, what I'm getting at is some of those are based on the fact of feelings towards a character that they changed. And like that could happen any which way. They could have changed the character any which way. Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, I like at the end of the day, when I'm looking at these comments, I know that there's just more of my opinion about what I think that should have been done. And also too, my passion of me getting crazy about stuff is more of just me having fun because it's funny for me to be so serious about something that's not that serious. I mean, it's just the industry, so you're passionate about it. It's like, if you want to go to the gym with me, I'm going to be excited to fix your form. Like it's not any different. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, the whole thing about the He-Man thing, honestly was more of like, can we be in a place where, one, I was expressing mainly just my feeling about how excited I was to almost have a perfect movie because, there's two, G.I. Joe, they kind of did, not in such a great way with, I forget what the actor was, but there's, it just didn't feel like the actual cartoon itself. And I know you can't, sometimes live action doesn't necessarily, transverse over to the world of live action. And it's super hard to do that. I mean, some people have really done it well. I haven't really seen too many movies that have been cartoons before. Spawn came out with my boy, what's his name?
Anyway, Spawn came out, and that was terrible. I mean, I thought the acting wasn't so bad, but the visual effects just didn't match where we needed to be.
Well, they've done it with a lot of like Disney movies now.
That's true.
They've made a lot of those really.
That's true.
Mean, even Lion King.
Yeah, I didn't see the real live action of that.
I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah.
I'm just talking from like I know that those really released.
Yeah.
I don't know from personal. I haven't watched any of them. Honestly, I don't give into the Disney.
Yeah, I don't
realm of things, but you know, they've made a lot of things, but they also change them.
Yeah.
And I still look at it like, yeah, like it sucks when you change something that I grew up with that I thought was amazing, and now I'm like, oh, this sucks.
Right.
But at the same time, who are we to judge? It's their piece of art.
Oh yeah, no. That's why I'm like saying I'm still excited. I'm not saying by any means, and you're not saying that I'm saying it's wrong, but like
no.
more of like, okay, well, I like the aspect of that they did draw this, you know, the earthly world in there somewhat, because I've seen some. I mean, the movie feels a lot like Jumanji, and when I saw Jumanji, or even this other one that this other director did, I forget, it was about this board game like Jumanji or whatever. So they played it, but you know, I digress. I feel like, you know, with that, I guess you just take it with a grain of salt. You know, I just, nothing is under protection, you know, of your childhood, because it's always it's always little things happening. You know what I mean? Like there's always going to be something like, this doesn't taste like the Snickers that I had when in 1980, you know, or something like that, or whatever. You know, soda was different.
Tastes like chemicals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, you can do with it just about everything.
And everything changes. You know what
it does.
I mean?
It does.
You know what? Actually, this is just random because you brought up Snickers, but Gushers. So like, as a kid, those were like the best things ever, right? Okay. So we tried them, and this is probably 6-7 years ago now.
Okay.
But anyways, we were in Colorado, we're in the mountains, and we just got like a snack at the gas station, right? And they had Gushers, and we're like, should we? And then we did, and I ate one, and it tastes like plastic, and it was the most like childhood disappointment.
Yeah, you're right. That candy and food is the quickest ones that when you grow up, like exceeding like 20 years or on something, or 10 years, things change because they get cheaper to make, as you already know, because you make everything from scratch. So, yeah, things just don't taste the same. And I guess it's just funny because I guess, like you said, you know, food is, you know, something I'm passionate about, not cooking wise, but more of like eating wise. So I can definitely
balance each other out. It's a good friendship.
Yeah. So it's like, I can definitely see what your point is. Like even this food, like it's kind of the same as movies a little bit, to where
it's an art still.
Yeah. It's like that stuff existed before, and now it's something new, and either you can take it with a grain of salt or not. I mean, it's like, don't eat it. Like you're not going to ever have a Gusher ever again.
And it's definitely not.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So like with any type of like changing variable, right? Like art, food, all of this stuff is like, can be changed.
Absolutely.
And none of it has a right or wrong. It's not math. 2 + 2 is 4, right? You can't change that. Whether they wanted to change it or not, you can't change it.
They try sometimes.
Like, yeah, that was an interesting 2020.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't change math, right? You can't change statistics. Real statistics.
Yeah.
And but like art and any form of art, which I feel like food is technically a form of art. Think about it. Like, how many different ways can you make pizza?
Oh God.
It's a form of art. How many different people like pizza a different way?
I know.
You know, like it's no different than just, I mean, making a film, making a piece of art that you hang, or a pot, or, you know, like even just your decorations at home.
Right.
Like somebody may have set this up completely different, right?
Yeah. That's true. I think, you know, I don't know what they're going to do, so it's going to be interesting. We'll have to pop back in once the He-Man movie comes out in the summertime, but you're right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, to me, like, I'm so hard-headed to where I'm thinking, you know, that he has to be super buff. But, like, that was like you said before, you know, they're able to do whatever they want to do. But I think the crux, it's like saying, if this is what I'm trying to say. If I remade Harry Potter and he didn't have magic, that's what I'm saying. I mean, have you seen Harry Potter movies before?
Pieces.
Okay. But you know, his biggest.
But I get the.
But you get the gist. The gist is he's a magician.
But that's why I was saying, like, it's the same thing as changing that character. Think of changing that character, how it looks, completely change it.
No, I'm saying, like, if He-Man's not, I mean, if he doesn't turn buff, I don't know how he's going to be Skeletor.
But I'm just saying, like, those are the connections.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's possible, right? Like, we have movies where people are small and they're crazy and they're
right.
strong.
No, for sure.
I don't know. There's like.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything. But
no, it's okay.
Do you remember like there's like clips of some baby? I don't know, some kind of superhero baby.
Okay.
Do you know what movie?
I think Fantastic Four.
Maybe.
Okay.
That might be it.
Yeah.
It was a strong baby. Is that really possible? No.
Oh, maybe that's not Fantastic Four.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he's going to be a strong baby.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I swear.
But I get what you're saying.
The baby did some crazy stuff.
It did?
That is not realistic. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. It was like a clip on Instagram or something.
Oh, okay.
But like, it's like it's a cartoon baby doing strong things. Is that actually possible? No.
Right.
Is it realistic? No.
Right.
But we enjoy those things anyway.
No, absolutely. I just don't know. I guess you could make
connection. It's your connection to what it was, and it's okay.
Yeah, I guess he's kind of the same thing. I just, like I said, there's no like I don't know how if they. I guess it's not doing the same thing, but I mean, maybe my analogy is not great because Harry Potter necessarily he needs magic in order to be in that world because if he's not Harry Potter, but. Adam could still be skinny and still do crazy stuff, and turn into He-Man because he's not the prince anymore.
It's changing a storyline you're familiar with, and that's what it comes down to. It's no different than reading a book and then them changing the story in the movie, right? Now you've read a book and you're like, you're so hooked on this. What was it? The Twilight series is a good example. I'm sure the Harry Potters are the same way, right? You read these books and you make up this picture
and
in
then the characters change a little bit.
Not even just changing the characters based on what you've developed in your head, but now they change the storyline. Maybe instead of getting on a train, they get on a boat or something, or it's in a different location, or it's a different type of superpower or whatever.
Right.
Like they change these things, and you've developed this connection based off of what you read, and now you're like, well, that's not right. And people do it all the time, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes... That's just the vision they had.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we're going to see what they did with the storyline to see how they've changed it and manipulated the situation. But a lot of the times, like some of the old, just the way people told stories back in the day were different than they tell them now, and they're better back in the old days. And I can tell you that 1,000%. And because old story, like Akira Kurosawa is one of the dopest Japanese directors in the 1950s, and he's that great because every story you see from A Bug's Life with John Lasseter, like the Toy Story, John Lasseter stole from Seventh Samurai. I mean, it's obvious. A bunch of misfit samurais. This is a live action movie done, black and white. And Akira Kurosawa is Japanese, and he has these bunch of misfits. This town's being overrun by a bunch of other soldiers or whatever, and this guy who's like kind of like a samurai, kind of like not great. He's kind of afraid, goes out and finds like 6 other ones, and that's why it's called Seventh Samurai. And then and in the movie for Disney, this. A Bug's Life, Hopper is the bad grasshopper who comes in, and Flick, who's like innocent, has to go out and find a bunch of I'm not a lady, the little ladybug to take over his town again. So it's the same exact storyline. Seven Samurai's been stole several thousand times, but I'm just saying.
Isn't that a lot of things though?
No. I'm saying it's a good thing.
That story might have even came from something even from previous stories, right? From the tales that were told before, were written down.
No, absolutely. That story came. It could come from history from him. I'm just saying, like old school storytelling. Good storytelling doesn't change much, and you can look at theater, from Euripides, Aeschylus, Sophocles, some of the old Greek tragedies. All those stories are all the stories we've been dealing with right now. So it's really kind of cool.
People want their own twist on things.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's what I'm saying. This might be a cool twist.
Yeah. And it could be even better than you even imagine. You never know. You might watch it.
Yeah.
And you might be just blown away.
Yeah.
It's hard to know.
Yeah. Typically, it has not happened like that, when they've changed major things like that. But I will say, I'm willing to be surprised. I really am on a cartoon / live action movie. So we'll see. We'll see about that. And they do that. They change a lot of things in The Witcher. And we all love we talked about before. Anthony was on here with, the fight choreo.
You guys talked about it. I just sat there. I had no idea what was going on.
But so Anthony, we were talking about Superman. The reason why we like Henry so much is because Henry knows, because he's a gamer. Like, for instance, The Witcher. Season 3 came out. Nobody's watching it because Henry cared so much about how the video game came out. He was playing his character based on the old school video game that came out 25 years ago, The Witcher. And we all loved it. We all played it on Sony PlayStation, stuff like that. So because he's so into that, that's why I cannot wait to see his rendition of Voltron. And then for those people out there, Voltron came out in the 80s as well. And he's going to be picture perfect because he knows what the fans want. It's a little bit of what we call fan service, a little bit like us as fans that are going to pay $17 these days to go see a movie that I'm not going to rip off because there's plenty of sites you can rip off. And I don't do that because it's happened to me as a filmmaker. So filmmakers out there, if you are online and you're looking at movies illegally, shame on you, because if it was your movie, you'd want people to be paying for it, so I don't ever pirate anything like that, music nor anything that's artistic at all. I don't pirate anything anyway. So
there's plenty of apps to get things.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheap.
Exactly.
Why would you?
Why would you do that? So, but that's my whole thing.
Back in the day when you'd burn CDs.
Okay, I did do that back in the day. But that was legal. When they had.
It was a different time. It was a totally
that was a crazy time. Remember that?
You would ruin your computer for one CD.
You really would. You'd be like, did I get the right CD-ROM? Is it a CD-ROM or whatever it's called? Like the disc, like the DVD.
Your friend would make you one and you'd be like, sweet.
Yeah, and you have 100 songs in there.
Yeah.
You pop it in, Yeah, that was cool times. Yeah, it was the Wild Wild West because, .coms, I know we're switching off a little bit, but the .com, stuff like that, were all kind of just all over the place.
Yeah.
My friend, Kevin Springer, he made so much money back in the day because these things were popping up. I mean, it's kind of like what it is today a little bit, but not as crazy. But things are popping up everywhere. We have so many apps daily, on the daily, like what is new, what's not new. So, yeah, it's technology once again. I just can't not talk about technology because, these microphones, I don't know who makes these microphones. I can't even read the little lettering on there, but these things are, it's somewhere from China, but they're good. They're not bad at all.
Yeah.
And they're
everything in here.
Yeah, it's like $50. Not everything in there for $50, but I'm saying $50 per
The rug costs more than $50.
I know. Hey guys, I know when you come here, you take off your shoes before you get over here.
Yeah, we don't mess with shoes on the carpet.
Well, they can't see our feet, but
yeah, still, you
don't mess with the carpet. You don't get messy, not here.
No, not on my rug.
No, not on our time. So
we also don't bring drama. That was another thing we talked about.
Another thing too as well. We won't talk too deeply about that, but you're right. I mean, the thing is this: is that people want to be stuck sometimes, and including myself. I mean, I was stuck for a long time, and sometimes I get a little bit hard-headed about something that's not going my way or something that's happening to me and stuff like that, or happening not to me, maybe for me. Because
that's where we focus our thoughts.
Yeah.
So if you focus on all the things that are not in your control, you don't have to focus on the things you need to do to work on the things that are in your control. And I think a lot of people do that because they're deflecting, right? We've talked about this many times. It's like a mirror. You're looking, you want it to be off of you.
Yes.
And so in order to do that, you focus on other people or other things. Well, we do that on a day-to-day. Even if you're not around somebody, maybe you've let yourself go, you're a little overweight, and you know what you need to do.
Right.
You know that you can make time for it, but instead you're going to focus on other things, other people, other areas of your life that you can't change. So maybe you can't change the fact that you have a bad child, you know what I mean? And it's driving you nuts right now and you don't know what to do. And it's kind of out of control, or you have a bad dog that bites people or something, you know what I mean? And you can't control it.
Right.
Well, there are things you can do to change that, but it requires you to put an effort. Instead, it's just I just can't do anything about this, I can't make them change or whatever. But if you change what you do, that could change that situation. And we don't want to focus on that.
Right.
Or, you're in a ton of credit card debt, everyone's in there realm of working paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, and can't put any money towards that debt, and they don't know what to do, and you focus so much on that all that time that you're focusing on that could be focused on something else that could get you out of that debt. And that could be some action. Now granted, it might take work, but everything takes work. And there's a solution to most problems. You can't change somebody passing away. You can't change that, but you can change how you respond and how you deal with it,
react to that. Yes.
The action you can take to handle your emotions and make peace with what happened.
No, absolutely. Controlling how you respond and react to a situation is one of the most clearest ways to becoming a better person for yourself.
Like holding on to grudges. We just talked about that earlier too. Like if you hold on to things, something happened, someone said something, somebody did something to you, somebody stole something from you, and you're holding on to that for more than 10 minutes, that's a problem.
Yeah. You can't go through life like that. I mean, and it shows up in other areas, and the only reason I know it because I've done it.
We've all done it. We've all done it. It's
well, some people can't admit that, but yeah,
we've all done it at least at some point. Even if you didn't voice it out loud, you've done it in your head. Yeah. Like you've done it. Like everyone has done that.
Yeah, holding on to things is just, I guess someone explained to me, it's like me taking the poison, waiting for you to die. It's only hurting yourself.
Exactly.
So I don't subscribe to that. If I can help it. And I think I can because I decide to choose how I react and respond to things, as opposed to being completely, emotional about situations. And I think probably like, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, responding heavily on just, that's how I lived. I just was just like this ball of emotion, and like, why is this happening to me right now? I'm being all angry for what?
Instead of the why me, we need to do, what can I do? Yeah.
What can I do differently in my own life to have other things showing up positively in my own space? And that's a hard thing, to swallow sometimes. So. And
letting go of what other people do that is not in your control is huge too, right? Like if somebody
does you
wrong, you can't just be like, oh my God, this person did this to me. No, how about like that person's irrelevant.
Right.
They're gone.
Right.
You're done. Like, you don't have to associate with them. You don't have to bring them up. You don't have to say anything about them. You can just move on. It's a beautiful thing. Right. Nothing even has to be said. If somebody doesn't belong in your life anymore, you don't have to have a conversation with them. You can just move on.
Exactly. I mean, I have something I want to say, but I'm not going to say it because it deals with, it's not that.
Say it general.
Just in general, like somebody added me on TikTok that I haven't spoken to in a long, long, long time. Someone beyond that I didn't expect to be adding me on a social media.
Those throw me off too. Like when people add me and I'm like, I haven't talked to you since like 20 years ago.
This is an important person. Like that's if you can understand what I'm kind of getting at. Yeah. And I don't understand.
But did you add him?
I did. Because I don't have anything over. I mean, and she probably doesn't either. But I just added her back.
If there's no
beef from that. I don't have any beef.
So why not? And even if there is, maybe it's somebody reaching out to fix that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's right. I love how you thought about that.
They just creep,
No, like, but at least I saw it.
Like it may be. Yeah. They're trying to reconcile.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. And we need to leave space for that because as much negative energy that I might have had about that situation, I don't have that anymore. It's not inside my heart. And if I'm truly better about the situation, why would I be upset about that?
Well, and if you grew as a person, who says somebody else can't?
That's true.
So like maybe it was bad before, but like you both and two people can have an issue, both be at fault because when it comes down to it, we are both
50-50, absolutely.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
And like just because you went off and fixed yourself doesn't mean the other person didn't. Right. And then maybe you're two different people now.
That's true.
I mean, in a couple years, you can be a totally different person.
No. Completely. And also too, like you said before, maybe that person, it just feels like, hey, things are better now and I'm in a better space and stuff like that. And like you said, they could have gotten better too as well, and you just need to leave space and room for that also too as well. And I don't, like I said, if I'm truly better about the situation between both of us, then if I'm not fixed and I have animosity or angry about that, then why would I add that person? And also too, why would I'm not better. If I can't, I'm being triggered.
Look at yourself at that point on how you react to that request.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just added her because I thought, hey, it's cool. I mean, I don't know what's happening, but cool. I'm glad, we could still be friends and stuff like that too as well, which is cool. So
sometimes I get like friend requests on Facebook. This is just funny. Yeah. Not even like any emotion whatsoever.
Okay.
But like I get friend requests on Facebook all the time. Mm-hmm. Like I probably get at least a few a day.
Right.
And I don't accept them because I don't know who they are most of the time. Or sometimes there's just so many and I just don't go through it. Because my Facebook's public.
Right.
So like I'm like, if you want to follow me, you can follow me. If I wanted to watch somebody's stuff, I would add them, but I don't, like I really don't care.
Right.
And most people have my phone number, so it's like So I just don't really like add people, but sometimes I'll scroll through them just to like kind of see what's in there, and then there'd be somebody that I was like, I didn't know who that was. oh, I know who
Yes,
that is.
exactly. And I'm like, okay, I'll add you. Yeah, exactly.
So I apologize to anyone who maybe might be sitting in my requests because I don't go through them very often.
I don't either. It's weird.
Sometimes I don't recognize people. Like if it's been, 10, 15, 20 years, like I might not even realize what you look like now.
That's true.
People
change
gain
a lot.
weight,
Yeah.
They lose weight. They change their hair color. They, you just never know. I mean, I don't look the same I did five years ago.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Wow. Like before moving from Colorado to here. Yeah, look like a totally different person.
Me too.
Let alone Iowa to Colorado to here. Like I've changed a lot, and like other people have too. Yeah,
that's insane. I had about 45 pounds on me. I'm like 235.
So seeing you then, somebody who met you then, you left, sees you now.
Like, hey, you look different. I'm like, oh, okay.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm me.
Or if you gained weight right now, and then I hadn't seen you in a couple of years,
you'd be like,
"Who the heck is this guy?"
I know, it's true. Yeah, I've got pictures like that are look wild. People are like, "There's no way that's you." I'm like, "Yeah, it is me." It was unhealthy me. It's
a reminder of where you don't want to get back to.
I do not ever want to go back to that place ever again. It was wild. I was not feeling good, like physically or mentally either. So it was a really bad space. But we live and we grow.
And like I look at every experience I've ever had as like a learning experience, right? It might not have been the best place for me. It might have been like something I don't ever want to go back to, which is 100%. Like I can't say I'd want to go back to any year. I want to keep moving forward because every year gets better. Yeah. And that's just kind of how I look at it. I grow as a person. I get better at the skills that I want to build. I meet new people. I make new relationships. I make the relationships I have better. I get better at communicating with the people that I want to, you know what I mean? Like everything is better. So I never want to go back. Like any of those people that are like, I want to go back to high school. Like you're crazy because that was like some of the most traumatizing years of my life. And I never want to go back there.
Junior high and high school were crazy from when I was growing up. So I'm friends with a lot of a bunch of guys that I some females too as well. But I've got some really old relationships. One of my buddies, Kenny Kane, he was a comedian and stuff like that. He's hilarious. He's really funny. He's a trainer and stuff like that and trains movie stars now. But Kenny was a good guy. But yeah, I had Kenny and Todd Phillips. And Kenny and I went to junior high together since like the 7th grade. So I've known him forever. And then I've got another guy by the name of Mike Bolster and Shay Daniels. I met Mike Bolster and Shay and also my buddy Romus in 1979. So they're still my friends to this day. Like Mike, I see, I haven't seen, actually I saw Shay who came out a little while ago and they watched this too as well. And they always, they like my stuff and they've always followed me, man. And they just, just really good friends. Cause there's friends out there that don't support you, that don't, even though they're friends, I would call them more acquaintances, but all my real friends, they watch these all the time. They're always commenting and saying stuff like that. My buddy Andre, he's like a black belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu or something like that, or very close, so he runs a Jiu-Jitsu place out with Hoist Gracie and all those guys out in Seattle, if I'm correct. So, but yeah, those guys, you saw before, like, hey, your buddy Andre said hi, and Andre and I go way back since, I don't say like late 90s. We did a zombie movie together. He was a zombie and became like more of a, I don't know. I have to. If I could find these files for people, they would just die. It was shot on film. The director was Paul Swenson, and I don't know who else was on that set. Oh, Brandy Roderick, one of my friends. She's like her and Jason Momoa, who plays. They were on when Pam Anderson left Baywatch. Brandy. It was her show and Jason Momoa's show. He plays not Thor, but he plays what's his name? Aquaman. Sorry, I couldn't think for a second. He plays Aquaman. So, but Jason Momoa, right? He's huge, big old burly beard.
Maybe if I seen a picture.
Okay. Did you see the last Fast and the Furious?
No.
Okay.
No, I gave up after they tried to make it an action movie, and they sucked after Paul Walker died. Yeah. Well, there's a couple good ones. I mean, when The Rock, Fast 6, I will say this right now. I love them all. I've seen all. There's like 9 of them now. And I know you dropped off like in probably 3 or whatever, but The Rock came and he fixed some stuff. And then that was the one that like made me drop off.
Fast 6?
Whatever the one The Rock got in, like that's when it was like.
Well, there's 2. Because there's a second one. There's the first one with before Jason Statham. So that was Hobbs and Shaw. But Jason Statham was actually in 1 too as well.
That was like my like.
You didn't like 6? I thought 6 was dope. It was in Brazil and stuff like that. I really liked it.
I still stand by 2 is the best.
Which one's 2? It's 2.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh yeah, that one was dope. Well, what about the Tokyo Drift? Was that 3rd?
That was 3.
Okay, I like both of those 2. I like both of those 2 a lot. Yeah, I can see 2 all day. 1 is cool too as well, but
I could watch 2 on repeat. I watched it on repeat.
2's dope. 2's dope.
Teenager.
Paul Walker was ridiculously awesome, and it's just.
And Tyrone was like, that's his name, right?
Tyrese.
Yeah,
Tyrese.
I don't know.
Yeah, Tyrese. Yeah, Tyrese Gibson. He's funny.
He's so funny in that.
Yeah, no, it's dope. Him and Ludacris. Wait, was Ludacris was in?
He was in both the first and the second.
Oh, he was.
I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah.
Was Ludacris okay? Because I didn't know he was in it. Oh, he was. I think you're right. Yeah, that's crazy. But he's more of like a side character. Like, yo, then they came out the race.
He's
and,
the buddy.
Yeah, it was like, and then he got into everything. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I got to watch the old ones because I love Tokyo Drift, and I got to see 2. 2, you're right. It's on just continually just playing in the background.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, 2 is dope. Yeah, and it's with the cars that they had back then. I had an Acura. I was I didn't know anything. Mine was souped up, but I was all at the Acura Integra, and then they had all those cars that were coming out and stuff like that. So it was
the best part about 2 for me wasn't the cars. It was the comedy, and then like obviously being a young girl and having a crush on Paul Walker.
Right. Yeah, Paul Walker. Yeah, no, he's legit. I'm hoping that they don't. I heard
Very
that
pretty boy.
Yeah, I've been hoping that in 10 they don't bring him back like legitimately like because of AI that type of stuff. I mean, because
if they were gonna do it, they would have just had his brother play him, anyways.
He did play him in some. Well, just in the car or whatever. To finish exactly.
That was the only reason. But then he died, and then
I'm just hoping that Vin Diesel, because Vin Diesel owns it. He might own the franchise. I mean, like it's his. The guy's got so much money, and he's done really well for himself. But I don't have any idea. I mean, I'm figuring out since they were already in the outer space and one you didn't see, it was crazy. They've done some crazy stuff with Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris they were in this car, like a rocket car, and they were at the edge of between
they
Earth.
took something good, and then they made it horrible, in my opinion.
Right.
So, but that is again my opinion. There are people that like action movies and they love that stuff, but to me, they ruined a good and I'm not even a car person. Justin is, but he thinks the same thing. They ruined it because it was car focused, and then they
became bank heists.
It was action focused.
Yeah. Because it was just really about the race. That's all it was about before. Is your car faster than mine? And
all the cars. And looking under the engine.
Yeah.
I just found out that the little Nas stuff is real. I just found that out. We were watching some YouTube video, and I was like, "That's real."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I thought it was a movie thing."
Yeah.
But that was all very realistic for car people who are really into the racing, thinks it's super cool, and then you turn around and turn it into an action movie. Yeah, of course, people are gonna be like, "What the heck?" But then you're also going to gain a different variety of people who love action movies. So it's just like changing anything else. I mean, it's good and bad, right?
You're right. That's true. It's based on it is in the world of movies and stuff like that. But it's gonna be interesting to see where they lead with these next storylines, because I feel like they're gonna have another 2, and I know that eventually
at some point you gotta just call it done.
No, I think what Vin Diesel's gonna do, because he's got a son and stuff like that, he's gonna get. There's gonna be a new range.
Junior's gonna be doing it.
Yeah, there's gonna be a new range as the old people get pushed out. There's gonna be this new group that comes up, so it's like a lifetime thing of that Vin Diesel's gonna do. I don't mind Vin Diesel movies. He's got some cool action. Well, other than he's played some other roles, like futuristic type stuff. He's got another Pitch Black or whatever that movie where he was on. He played Riddick or whatever, that whole series of Riddick and stuff like that. You got to see.
The only other movie I can think of that I've seen him in is there was one where he was the daycare guy or whatever.
Really?
Take care of some kids.
Yeah.
I don't remember what. He was a secret agent, but he was watching these kids.
It was that. Yeah.
I don't know.
So the kid I taught, Max Terriot, he's in that movie with him. Yeah, so he plays the blonde-haired kid that's in it. And Vin Diesel. Yeah. So I remember when I was with Max in Windsor, California. Max was writing some scripts for him, whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, if you want, we can get Vin on speed, because he's got Vin on speed dial. He's got Kristen Stewart, which he played Catch That Kid. That was his first movie he ever did, and stuff like that with Kristen Stewart and some other guy, whatever. But a Disney film. But yeah, I mean, that movie was unlike Vin Diesel, but I think a lot of people in their careers have done movies like that to boost from action. I mean, Rock did it too as well, I think, and John Bautista did it too as well. I mean, Everyone
There's
does.
nothing wrong.
No, but it's just different. So
yeah.
But yeah, action to that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Vin does with this new movie because I don't know, and it's not slated yet or anything like that. But it's gonna be interesting. And this year, by the way, is another great year for movies because we have Doomsday coming December 22nd or 23rd. Just before Christmas. So Doomsday is basically Dune, which I'm not sure if you're a Timothée Chalamet fan or not, if you've watched the Dune series.
That was all like gibberish to me. You might as well have been talking another language.
I love it. She's
I just did that to my sister too. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
I love
she
it.
was talking about like iron worker stuff or welding or I don't know. I really don't know what was going on. And I looked at her and I was like, you might as well be speaking a foreign language. I don't know what you just said.
Yeah, you're like,
and
like
that's
ding-dong.
the same thing.
Yeah.
I have no
like, who is
idea
that?
what you're talking about.
Well, there's 2 movies being released. One is called Dune, and the other is called Doomsday. And Doomsday is in the realm of all of the MCU universe, and we've been waiting for this moment. But they're calling it Doomsday, which is cool because Dune, the movie, which is separate, and then Doomsday's MCU, and the other one's like this Timothée Chalamet piece, which is Dune, which is an old book. They're books, and they did a movie in the 1980s or whatever, which aren't even close as good as the ones that are done now, which is crazy. So it's going to be a great day for movies. I mean, so I'm going to be out there. People are going to be out there watching movies, and this year is a great movie. This year is a really great year for movies as well. There's a lot of things coming out, so
it's a great year to do a lot of things.
And I'm every single time. When I'm back in this seat, I will be talking about some kind of movie. Oh, just real quick. If you did here's my hot take. Housemaid with Sydney Sweeney was a 9 out of 10. Come from me in the comments. I don't care. The movie was dope. It was really, really good. So I'll just give my little tidbit on movies because I'm a filmmaker. So I saw that.
Sense, right?
I think I'll tell you good stuff and things. Well, I'll tell you everything, but in my opinion, Sydney Sweeney's had a bad run of movies lately, and this one was really, and Amanda Seyfried was just absolutely incredible. I mean, and I don't want to give too much away, but I'll tell you right now, you've never seen a storyline like this before. You think you know what's going to happen, and I've seen a lot of movies. Being almost 55, I've seen a lot of movies, and I know a lot of storylines.
Well, and that's what you do as a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, that's your hobby is watching movies.
Yeah, and so I want you to see the movie and, maybe put in the comments what you thought if you knew it was going to happen because I had no clue.
And tell me if it's worth it.
Yes. Yeah, no, for sure. It's not.
Like I might put it on the background.
You might. But this week I'm going to start Landman.
Yes.
So I'm going to be.
You'll see. Like,
yeah.
If it keeps me and Justin hooked.
Oh, I'm going to be like.
Yeah, you're going to be in.
I'm going to be like, I'm so tired. Like, where were you? I'm like, I just watched 5 episodes of.
They ended it too soon. Like, so it could have went on for another one based on the ending. It could, but I think that was the end.
How many seasons were there?
3.
Oh.
I think 3. Maybe it's 2.
See, I like that.
Might have been 2. Might have been 2.
But I like that. When they do like, who the person does that was I think is one of the funniest guys, out, there's like a top 20. I definitely think he's like top 15 or top 10. But Danny McBride is just... Every show he does, he just kills it. And he might be top 12, maybe top 10, because when he, a lot of comedians will do shows, but they're not just funny. Danny McBride is just Eastbound Down. I saw him in Tropic Thunder at first. He was the guy who was doing the pyrotechnics. And then you have the other show he does about the mega churches and stuff like that. And then Vice Principals. I double dog dare you. I mean, the guy is just, he was in also Pineapple Express as well. But Danny McBride is just.
I'm trying to remember who that is. What is
he's got this he's got a mullet. And it looks like he's almost got.
Oh yeah.
Damn, he is. Okay. The guy is just on fire. And so most of the time you see his shows like Vice, he does like that. He goes, you know what? We don't do long seasons or a lot of seasons. I feel when it comes to an end, it just naturally comes. So he does typically 3 or 4 seasons on shows. He doesn't do like an 8 years long. Well, it's not. I can't even say 8 years long because Stranger Things was 5 years, but they took 2 years in between. And Severance. I mean, people that have been watching Severance out there on Apple TV, they think they're going to take 3 years to make one episode.
Well, it was kind of cool because they left it off. Actually, I think they are making another season. Mm-hmm. I think we Googled it.
Yeah.
But they left it off to where it could just end.
Oh, really?
The ending.
Okay.
Or it could be leading into a whole nother chapter of things.
Oh.
So that was what was really cool about the end of it.
I like stuff like that.
And it also didn't leave you what's next?
Okay.
Because I hate when
good. I don't like that either. I know, and you're like, what's next? Yeah, it's good.
Or it ends and like something crazy happens, but you don't know what happens after, and then you have to wait until the next season.
Or it gets canceled, and you never get a chance to get. I hate that.
Yeah.
They did that with I think they did it with Lucifer. I watched Lucifer by Jerry Bruckheimer and somebody else or whatever. But anyway, cool show about how the devil is now on Earth now running around. It's a lot of cool little motifs and interesting stories. But it was really done well. And then then they had dropped it, and then I think Netflix picked it up to finish off the last 2 seasons or something. But it was great. I was like so appreciative when they came back like that. Arrested Development, which is a funny show.
I've seen that one.
But they tried to finish, and it was.
I don't remember the end.
When Netflix picked it up, it wasn't as good. But anyway, that's just me. So.
That's all opinions, right?
It's all opinions.
And there's a lot of things that neither one of us would never watch.
Yeah.
Or me and Justin really like to watch like documentaries.
Yes.
Like good documentaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? Netflix puts out some good documentaries.
They do. I would like you to see one that's called Going Clear, or no, it's just called Clear, and it's on HBO, and it's about. Well, I won't even say what it's about. It's just about a church, Scientology, basically. But I'd love you to watch it because it's done really well, and it's kind of scary. I'd love to talk to you about it because it's interesting. I gotta watch it again, but it's on HBO. But yeah,
okay. That's actually one app we don't have right now.
Okay, I have to look. I'll look it up and see because it's got to be somewhere else.
Okay.
But yeah.
We have plenty of apps, but definitely not that one right now.
Did you see the Diddy one?
I need to cancel Hulu. What?
Did you see the Diddy one?
The what one?
Disney? The Sean.
Oh, the Diddy one.
Yeah,
I thought
the Diddy
you said
one.
Disney. I was like,
no,
but
Diddy.
we have watched a few videos on Disney, and that shit's great too.
No.
But anyways, yeah, we did. That one's
You did.
good. You haven't watched it yet?
I didn't watch it yet. I was kind of scared.
Watch it.
Okay.
So supposedly he has a bunch more stuff that he couldn't even include in there because there's so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But watch it.
Okay.
Watch it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I mean, unless you're worried about like your opinions of somebody, but like
no, not at all. No, I wasn't worried about that. More of like the things that I've heard and watched some of the hearings or whatever. Just like wow, I just couldn't believe. I mean, it's just honestly just people are capable of just about anything, I guess these days. So
we just watched one. Some dude in Florida that was like killing girl, like killed a couple girls or something. He would have been a serial killer. He's a psychopath. But like I guess he got like Instagram famous because he's a pretty boy,
Oh, really?
And like these girls were like throwing himself like at this dude that straight up murdered 2 women and like admitted to it and almost like was happy about it, like so happy that his dad turned him in, like. And we watched that, and it was crazy, absolutely crazy. See, these documentaries are so good because they're based. It's all reality. There was one about a guy the girl. People saw this guy like hurting cats on. Oh, yep, I've seen that.
That was really good.
Don't fuck with cats.
It was dope.
What's crazy is it was like a lady that lived here. And like one other dude online that figured all
that's right. And they just would go into quickly and say, "Oh, that book, this piece of wood is made." I couldn't believe, man.
Yeah, insane.
I mean,
and just the fact of what that dude did.
Absolutely, yeah. No, and the documentary was really well told. I just love what they did. People are really. It was a good documentary.
It was really good. That was like one of the best during COVID. That and what was the King? Dude, the Lion King or whatever, not the Lion.
Oh no, the Tiger King.
Tiger, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm so bad at this.
No, it's fine. But at least I know I can just put it together. Yeah, so I'll put it together for you guys. So I might talk really fast, but if she starts talking, doesn't know, I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, as long as it's film related, he usually
exactly.
I'm like making up words.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that one was pretty crazy during that time too.
It was there's been some great documentaries, and then there's been some semi movies that are like documentaries, like Jeffrey Dahmer, that actor.
Oh yeah, that one was nuts.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I watched that one.
The series was dope.
So I'm weirdly like, as you can tell, I'm really like I like psychology, and that's why I can break down things like what we were talking about earlier and see things from like an outside perspective. Is because I've really dived into like the way brains work and our emotions and like all of that stuff. And
absolutely,
I'm very like calm and reserved when I think about things, and like I can look from another person's perspective,
right?
And like so I've always been, and even before I dived into like all of that stuff. I've always been curious on like how people think and why they do the things they do. Yeah. And so when I was in college, I did a lot of research on serial killers and like papers and stuff on them. Yeah, because I was gonna go to law school, and I get into criminal law and that was kind of like the goal. So I wanted to know how they think, why they think that way. So I did a lot of research on that. So I was always been very curious when it comes to that stuff. So that was definitely one that I watched.
I could see you being a lawyer. Definitely. Definitely. It'd be awesome. Yeah.
I didn't do it because I feel I've never met until Adam. I've never met a lawyer that actually was happy.
Right.
So that's why I didn't go that route.
Oh, yeah. Should have met Adam. I never met lawyers like that either. When I met Adam,
He's
like,
still this is one.
Yeah. I mean, like, wow, I could, I always thought about when I was in high school, I remember telling everyone that I wanted to be a lawyer. And then I thought I wanted to be an engineer. And then it got really difficult when I was like, 2.5 years into Davis or whatever. I'm like, this is not what I want. With all the math classes, I was good at math and stuff like that. But there's some math that some people know that are, mathematicians and stuff like that, beyond calculus and integrals and stuff like that and derivatives. It just gets really, really difficult. If you don't love it, it's not your passion, you're not going to be successful.
I always liked math because it was simple. But like once it got complicated, like I don't want like if I really I didn't want to dive into it.
Yeah, no, it gets out of hand. I liked
it because there was one answer.
Yeah,
but like I didn't like the complications of like serious math.
Yeah, it got really out of. I mean, derivatives are one thing, and analytical geometry was cool, but like it just gets.
You get into it.
It gets like another level of like, and people that went to Davis, I don't know if they have the 21A, 21B, and 21C series, but like I took the 21A series, and then at 21B, I'm just like, I just dropped out. I'm just like, I'm good. Like this, it just got, and that's like that's their you're going, because their 16A series at Davis at the time was, if you're going to become a doctor or something like that, you would take that series of math or whatever. But 21A series, B and C or A, B, and C were all like for upper, engineering, stuff like that. So, but yeah, it just got really difficult. And I was like, this is not physics 9, I didn't, walked into class, I walked out, I'm just like, I'm not going to do this. It's just too hard. My head doesn't think, I mean, it does, but it doesn't at some point, and I didn't love it like I love, like I light up when I start talking about He-Man or movies or whatever, so.
And it depends. I mean, some people go into career paths because either they have the talent or the money, and then some people do it because they love it.
Yes. Yeah. I had either, but I did. I mean, I had a passion for teaching for sure because I taught like 30 years ago. I was a math teacher, so I was able to teach because of this woman by the name of Kelly Gabe. She was the one. She was pregnant and she was leaving, and I got and I was a PE teacher for the school. And then she's like, I would always answer the questions like, "We beat you, math, Mr. Come." Like, you guys are not beating me. Trust me. I know that I look like a physical ed teacher, but you're not going to beat me. And she looked at me. It's like, well, fine. We did a little challenge. If you guys can beat, Mr. Cummings at, if his test scores, if you don't score as high as him, you have to retake the test or something like that. And I was getting like hundreds. I'm like, and she's like looking at me like crazy, like, I think you could teach. I'm like, and then I did, how would you explain, the finding a slope of a line? Well, they need to know what y equals mx plus b is, the slope of a line. And, and then first y2 minus y1 and divided by x2 minus x1, sorry, if it was the slope of a line, to find a slope of, anyway, to find m. But I digress. Anyway, I love teaching, that aspect of it, and teaching at that low level of like basic algebra and stuff like that. And, slopes wasn't, difficult, but I had a lot of fun and found out more that I had more in the tank than I actually, just being a phys ed teacher, I became a math teacher. So it was kind of cool. So thank you, Kelly, Miss Gabe, for helping me out. So.
It's crazy the things that we try that we don't even expect to, and then actually love it. Yeah,
it was actually cool. Like not grading papers it was fun teaching because I had, I always felt like when I was in front stage of, of my classroom, when I had my own class and stuff like that, I had two sixth grade classes and then 2 seventh grade classes, and it was like this audience that had to listen to me. So, and the kids would never talk because like this teacher, Mr. Cummings, don't talk. He's funny. So I had their attention all the time. So they learned a lot, and I learned also too, when they had bad grades, it was my fault, not theirs, which was really great. Cause I had, it was something that I wasn't able to teach you, not to figure out how do I teach Fylisha this, she might learn differently. So I had to figure out ways to be a better teacher. Some bad teachers will say, well, they don't get it. So they only teach, it's hard. I mean, teaching's hard in general because you teach to the upper 10%, not the lower, like 70 or 80% or 90% basically. So it's just interesting.
Well, and I think they teach that way because it's the simplest way, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's even like the fact that it makes the most sense. I think it's just simple and it's easy to do.
Yeah. Yeah,
easy to manage and easy to structure.
Yeah, because you're teaching to the higher echelon students that understand, and the other ones like,
you read, you take a test.
Yeah,
like, that is pretty much.
Yeah, I had to figure it out. I was really all about just children, their education, and making sure that every person was heard. If you're getting bad grades, we'd have to figure it out. We'd sit in office hours or whatever, and I just like helping people. I guess that's part of me. Who I am. So.
Well, I mean, you still do it. You still mentor, and you still,
Yeah, when I'm allowed to, basically, meaning that, I don't have my film school anymore, but you're right. I do love mentoring and helping kids in film, and they still call me.
You still wouldn't.
That's true. You're right. No, that's true.
You don't have to have a film school to do that.
No, you don't. I still do it. And I still have graduates that call me and stuff like that, which is really great. And
who's to say you won't start it back up?
That's true.
You never know.
You never know. Yeah, different ways. You're right. It's always different things. But yeah, I do enjoy that. I do enjoy being a mentor for kids, and then the bounce ideas. Hey, I'm thinking about charging this one. No, you want to charge X, Y, and Z, or don't be like me. Have a statement of work that's in place so that when you're not going through a million edits, you don't have a contract now. I did that stuff all the time when I was younger, and didn't have contracts, and that I would be just trapped because I needed to get the second half of the money, but I couldn't because I have to now do a fifth edit or sixth edit on something that's really stupid that I should have had a contract saying, hey, beyond 2 edits, gross edits, once you make your changes, that's it. Or you pay me $250 an hour. So the kids are like now going, yeah, that's great. I love that because they get caught up.
Because when you start up, like you're just excited and you need to make money.
Right. And someone's going to pay me to do what I love. Okay, cool. I don't have to care about the other stuff. And the other stuff about the business aspect of it is very important. Setting up contracts. I remember my buddy Andre, he's not here today, on Earth, but he's looking down at me. And Andre Podell, he taught me a lot about this. Like, man, you got to have a statement of work. And I was so angry before. I don't know why I was angry, but not angry, but it's more like, I don't want to do that stuff. I just want to, do art. He's like, you need, and
most people in art do that, where they don't want to look at the business side of it, and that's where they fail. Yeah. And then they end up getting a regular job. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've had those too as well. So those have been very interesting to say the least, but yeah.
Well, I think we
exceeded
covered a lot of topics.
We always do.
little passionate in the beginning. We had to bring it in a little bit on the. I think we went from like here to good ground.
But we capture people in those first little bits.
We got them in the first. I shouldn't even say we. You got them in the first one. I just sat back and just took it in.
Yeah, you were cracking up a little bit too as well.
A little bit of laughter. Yeah, no big deal.
Which is fine.
But yeah, I think it was a good podcast. We covered a lot of things. That was the longest we've talked about film in a while, other than when I wasn't part of the conversation.
For the Superman.
Anthony.
It's just on Anthony and I on that thing. I saw that. You cut it together like, this was just you two writing that thing.
You two. It was actually a pretty easy edit with the 2 cameras because you guys talk so much. So
Anthony's cool, man. I'm going to see him again. We're
going to have him on again too. I seen he commented on one of the videos and said that he wants to do more podcasts.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and you've had a lot of great guests and stuff like that. I just people are adding me too as well. I think from your old podcast that I saw before, which is really cool. They've been really, really kind, so it's just been a lot of fun, just kind of talking, shooting the breeze, as my dad would say.
It's good. It's good.
It is.
I'm getting a lot of really good feedback.
That's great. So. And I saw some of the things that on the back end that I'm connected to with you on the podcast, like the amount of views that are kind of going up a lot, like it's really cool. So
it's increasing quite a bit.
Yeah, it is.
Which is really nice.
Yeah. Because you've done a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work.
Yeah. I just pretend like it's just do it. Just task.
That's all it is. Yeah. I'm going to automatically go home because I don't want to sit on this, take the stuff, put it together for you so you can get these up. And I like how you do your things, and it's awesome.
Get them clips out.
You
got to get your Instagram fixed though.
Yeah, I know.
So,
yeah.
But I think it was a good podcast.
Excellent.
And well, until next time. Bye guys.
Stay messy, guys.
Stay messy.